Greetings and welcome back to SmartWatch Ticks, where today we're doing a dual unboxing. Yeah, I know, we've got a lot of these fitness bands and they're just starting to look murky. Whoa, what's the difference between them all? You know what, we're going to look at these, and I've notified my suppliers that we're going to start weaning off of the basic fitness bands unless they bring something revolutionary to the table. We just got too many. They're flooded out here. I'd really rather our focus go back over to the Android watches, which is where a lot of interest is. However, I do have these here, and I have promised to take a look at them. So, SENBONO, yes, our SENBONO gang have sent out both the ID130 and the ID130P. Now, when I looked at the specs and things on these, they're pretty much the same overall operation. They use the same tethering app, the VeryFit Pro. They have a lot of the same features. One of them's in color, the other one's in black and white. It appears to be in the screen. But other than that, they're very, very similar. So let's talk about them first. The ID130, the first one, okay, is from SENBONO, and the buying link is down below. You can see you pop it right out of the band to be able to charge it. And in terms of specs for this one, it's IP67, fully waterproof, heart rate monitor, fitness tracker. I'll just let you guys glance through this. And as you compare them, you could come back and look at the specs side by side, because I'm going to show you both of them together, okay? So that's the ID130. Now, the other one, this one, the ID130P, is color, heart rate, liquid crystal, blah, blah, blah. Same kind of concept. Again, buying link down below. You see it's separated from the band, so it does the same plug-in type of direct charging for the unit. And now this one is passometer, which I think they mean a pedometer, sleep tracking, heart rate, alarm, and so forth. It uses adhesive tape. Okay, you can wrap this one around your arm with adhesive tape. There's the languages, life, waterproof, color LCD. Okay, and then there's its overall features. 3 different exercise modes: walking, running, cycling. There's, you know, it's not, these guys are not GPS flying great, wonderful things, but at the same time, you look at the price point, you're about $25 or so for these. So it hits a sweet spot price-wise for a basic fitness band. Let's open up the 50 Shades of Grey one first, right? Yeah, some of you guys prefer not having all the color, especially if you're outdoors. Oftentimes the contrast of the black and white and gray is a little bit better overall. So this has got a kind of a turquoise band on it. You see it's got the cover that's showing you what the display would look like, but it's just a little cover for right now. That's its band, and inside the box is a user manual. For this one, it's got multiple languages. In English, it looks like this. There's the QR code, but we already know the name. It's much better if you guys go to the Google Play Store and download the Tethering app directly that way. I trust that a lot better than scanning the QR code, which might go to a server in China, which might link you back to the Play Store or to a separate download of the app. And between the two, I'd err in the side of caution and get the version from the Google Play Store, because you know it's been thoroughly checked out by Google to the level that they thoroughly check these things out. Okay, manual, band, and that's it so far for the ID130. Now, the ID130P, which is color, which I don't know why they didn't call it C. Let's pull it out. Again, manual and band. Okay. Now that's interesting. It's got the same black and white kind of little cover. You notice this one's a wider band, slightly wider, but we already have been told it's color, so I'm going to pull that off. And yeah. Very, very similar all the way around. Diodes on the back. Yeah. Wow, okay. One button down at the bottom. Oh, this one's already on. Did you see that? Look at that. And it's in color. Is this one on yet? I mean, I haven't charged them up yet. Yeah, I think I need to charge that one to get it going. Anyway, we also wanted to take a look at the user's manual on the ID130P. See if you see anything different now between the two. There's the QR code. Well, for one, they've got color pictures. That's nice. Shows you how to pull the band apart in order to charge it. Know your device, it says. Heart rate monitoring, wearing method. There, now you get to see the pretty color screens on this one that we'll be looking at. So, needless to say, the ID130P has a more robust manual to support it. Taken a lot more time to put this one together. My feeling is the original ID130 probably came out with all of its capabilities and all that's hardwired into its chip. And then they decided to update it to the 130P, add color, make the screen a little bit larger, but pretty much keep the same functionality. Basic specs, FAQs, how to restore your factory defaults if you need to, and then the last page of information as well. Alrighty, I got to make sure they're both charged up, and then we'll go through both of them in parallel and compare them for you. Let's take a look at them now. This is the ID130, the basic one, and notice that it's set sideways so that you can look directly at the time. When you tap it and turn it on and cycle through, you have heart rate reading, you have a workout section you can go into with a long press, you have your step count, distance traveled, and calories burned from the built-in pedometer, and then you have, it looks like, the amount of minutes you've been in your training. Okay, then it comes back to the beginning again. So, by way of testing, when we go into the heart rate, it has the diodes running, and it's using your standard PPG technology, which is the light diodes shining into your skin and reflecting back up to get your heart rate from the movement of blood through your capillaries. And it does a fine job of doing that. And it's a good contrast, bright, large digits against a black background, so it should be readable outdoors. When you come into the training zone and press and hold, it gives you a countdown. You saw that, 3, 2, 1. Oh, you know what? I ran into this before. You actually have to hold it. You have to hold it through the whole countdown. And then, once it activates, it's off and running. And now you're getting a timed, calibrated heart rate and step count session. So it's a running, a walking, whatever you want. There's no GPS. And as you cycle through, you see you just have the same basic stuff, but that's running in the background. You see the little icon there? So when you're done, you come and you press and hold, and you have to hold it down until it counts down, and then it finished. And it accumulated that data that it would then transfer over to the app, which we'll get to next after we look at the difference between the ID130 and the ID130P, which it turns out stands for plus. When we tap it and turn it on, by the way, you can have the twist to brighten just like you have on this one. I happen to have it turned off because I wore it to bed last night and I didn't want it flashing all through the night. When you tap it, you see you have a color display. Still, high contrast colors were chosen, which is good. You can see outdoors. Second touch gets you your step count, followed by heart rate. And then these different events: walking, running, biking, and back to time. And those are modifiable, as you'll see in the app. From here, if I go to step count, press and hold, nothing significant happens there. If I press and hold here, oh, yeah, I'm covering it with my finger, you get your heart rate will actually show up. And if you get into any of these, you press and hold, you get the countdown, just like on the other band, says go. And now, because it's a larger display, you have your heart rate shown on the screen as well, along with the elapsed time, and a little kind of a graphic thing going across the bottom. And it'll stay that way until you press and shut it off. It says it's too short of a session to have recorded it. And likewise for the run and the bike as well. And then you're back to time. Okay, so that's the operation of the bands themselves. Both of them tether to this app called VeryFit Pro. Now, when you first launch it, it goes through and it gives you a screen. It's looking for Bluetooth. You have the things on. They show up on the screen, and you simply tether it by selecting it. Once it's tethered, then you go into this main page, which is your home page, and it will sync up with your band. This is the one I've been using. And like I said, I've got data from yesterday all through last night up until today. So we have 3 different areas: activities, sleep, and heart rate. When you're in the activities, you can go in here. Look at that graph. Isn't that fun? And it shows you when you accumulated your steps over time in a 24-hour cycle. All right. And it goes down and shows you your sleep information as well, which you can also get from the sleep tab, which if I come over here, there's the sleep tab with a summary. And again, there's the graph. Okay. Really a restless night last night, so this may be realistic. I've probably only had about 3 hours of sleep. When you get into heart rate now, you get into another different zone, and if you tap on here, you see your real-time heart rate data that you can actually slide across the graph, although I don't find that little box to be very readable. But you see the threshold zone of 70. You can see when it was above 70 and below in terms of it went from color change. And if you're doing aerobics, I guess based on the personal information I have in there for gender and age and height and weight, it'll calculate all these zones for you, and it's going to show you your real-time heart rate chart across all of that. And if you go back to check the day, today, yesterday, check yesterday, here's when I started it. So all the way to midnight, and then it flips over to the next day. And you can't, you can get back to today and get over here, and that's how you can get there. Okay, so that's all in the homepage stuff. In the details now, this is where you have your overall activity, and it's summarized on a weekly status, and your summary for your sleep, only have 1 night so far, and your overall summary for your heart rate. And it's just showing you points on the graph, and none of these slide, so it's just a 1-page display of your total details. When you get into device, you have all these things. You can have notification vibration for all of these things that you can set here. You can do the remote camera shooting, have your heart rate detected automatically or manually, your choice if you don't want to do the full 24-hour thing. Here's where I can set it so when you twist it, it's going to light up right there. Firmware update if you need it, and in more you have the activity display, which are the 3 things here: walking, running, and biking. But watch, if I hit the plus thing, I can add some other things to it, like, I guess, how do you do this? Mountaineering, you bring it up to here. Oh, up to 0 modes can be added. Okay, I turned off bicycling and I turned on mountaineering. You can only have 3 things, I guess. I'm going to turn off running, and I'm going to add on dancing and say check mark. And now we have walking, mountaineering, and dancing would be the 3 modes that will show up here when we cycle through. Walking, running, biking. Well, all right, they're still the same ones. I don't know, maybe after you sync it. That's the activity display, the multilingual environment. You can change the languages or just have it pick it up right from your phone when you tether. You can turn on the weather forecast, and I have found that it does not seem to work. It always says 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So these apps are often a generic app that work with a variety of different bands and watches, and some of them trigger and work with all of the features, some of them don't. We're getting to see which ones do and don't right here. Time format can be changed to 12 or 24 or be derived from your phone's setup. This is nice. You can set your step length for walking and running, which is going to give you much better accuracy on the distance traveled from your pedometer readings. If you do 1,000 steps and your walking is 29 inches, you're going to get a different total distance than if it were 31 inches. So once you figure out and know what your walking and running strides are, you can put that in here. And that's really nice when you see that in an app, because it means they're serious about giving you accurate data. Your heart rate zones, you can set a maximum heart rate zone individually selectable by actual individual numbers. If I want to go 135 as a maximum and be alerted when my heart rate is over 135, I can do that. And it's showing you your particular zones, your heart rate zones determined by the maximum heart rate values from your particular data. Nice, huh? You have a do not disturb that you can turn on so it's not going to vibrate. Does not affect the twisty arm though. If you want to stop it from lighting up in the middle of the dark, you have to do that manually every night. It's not tied to the do not disturb. You have all these different levels of brightness that you can adjust, and I don't know if we can see this. I'm going to switch it here. Yeah, you sure can. See how dim it is there? So if you're going to be at night, you want to change the level, you can. If you're going to go outdoors, you can brighten it back up again, and there you go. Okay. And then reboot the device. And that's all related to the device itself. The user is you. This is where you can log in and register. You can see your rankings. You can set your overall target. Your personal information is what is used to calculate a lot of the heart rate bracketing. So you want to get that accurate. At least I'm presuming that's what they're doing. Your system settings for units, starting the day of the week, and app and feedback and policies and stuff like that. And you have Google Fit integration, which is really cool. That means the data that you collect on either of these bands can go to the app, and from the app can transfer over to your Google Fit account, and then of course you can look at it on any device, a computer or whatever. So those are these four major ones. When we tap this one, we get these different little icons which allow us to create a single target, if you want to, for a running event, or walking, biking, hiking, you pick it, all right? I'm going to say hiking, and it's switched up there. You can turn the alarm on, and you can have the alert frequency setting in terms of by distance or by time. A really nice standalone, it looks like, workout app that you can use right here on your phone. And I'm presuming then that when you have the band with it, it's going to augment what you see here by sending over your pedometer information and your heart rate information. But everything else, the Google map and all of the movement that you do on your track, will be generated from the GPS and everything within the app itself. So combination of your phone with the app and the band will give you a really robust overall fitness program. If you tap this one, you have the different type of sports that you could choose to record. Okay, so you can select any of those. And the third item here is where you set your actual weight, which I thought you did in the overall settings section, but you can set it here as well in tenths of a degree, which is, or pound, which is really interesting. And that's all happening from here. So that's the VeriFit Pro app. These are the two bands, and they are SENBONO products available directly from their link. Check the show notes down below. The ID130, the smaller one here, black and white screen, displays sideways, has the basic information, sends all that stuff to the same app. That app can tie into Google Fit, and it's Relatively inexpensive. I mean, for under 20 bucks, you should be able to pick that up. You pop the bands off. That's how you charge it. Very simple, easy to use. If you want a little bit more sophistication, for $5 more or so, you can go into the full color display unit that has at least 3 different sporting activities that you can set there. It's switched, see? Now you've got climbing and dance. So you can set the 3 main ones that you want on there. Tethers to the same app, ties to Google Fit, and it's available also. Check the show notes. You've been watching SmartWatch Ticks. I'm about running out of voice. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.